What if I told you there are 3 types of videos that could blow up your sales and do it fast? These are the same videos big creators are using right now, and you may not even notice. My clients have used this exact strategy and saw results in just days. And today I'm going to tell you what these videos are, why they're so powerful, and how you can make them. And stick around and I'll show you one of my own videos that have earned me 6 figures with no fancy edits, no script, and it didn't even get many views, but it brought in so many clients. Back when I started my YouTube journey in 2020, I posted my very first few videos on Amazon FBA. I thought I'd be really helpful because during the pandemic, everyone was stuck at home and wanted their own online business. Here's the problem. I never stopped to think about why people should trust me or listen to me. I mean, let's be real. I was just some guy on a screen with a bad haircut, quiet voice, and no confidence, standing in front of a plain white background, trying to tell everyone how to start their own business. Why would anyone choose me when there were so many other more established YouTubers out there? Matter of fact, one day a potential client bluntly asked me on a call, why should I listen to you when there is at least 10 other people in this exact niche? And that really threw me off. I had good knowledge. I had sold over 500,000 by that point, but I wasn't giving people any reason to trust me. Especially in a niche full of scammers, gurus, and people who had no real experience. When you're making videos on YouTube to teach others, you have to remember nobody knows who you are. So why should they trust you? And that's when I realized that I needed to build credibility in my videos so people would get to know me, come back and watch more of my content. What are those videos? Well, let's take Ali Abdaal for example, because that is the problem that he was facing back when he started. Ali started his channel while he was still a medical student in Cambridge, sharing study tips and productivity hacks. And at the start, he was just another student, sharing advice. But how did he stand out? He wasn't speaking from years of experience. He was speaking from where his audience was. He was just like them. Ali didn't have to act like an expert. Instead, he built his credibility by documenting his personal experiences and just sharing evidence-based strategies that worked for him. And by showing how these methods worked in his life, he built that sort of trust over time, which is key to building a following. There's another type of video that really is incredibly powerful for building credibility, and one that many people overlook. And these types of videos give your audience a raw, unpolished look at something most people don't usually see, because they dive deep into a process or a journey that isn't always visible from the outside. For example, I recently watched a video from Chris Williamson where he shared something that might surprise you. And it wasn't about tips or advice, it was a look at his biggest production ever. And what stood out to me wasn't just the final product, it was everything that went into it. I'm talking the time, the stress, the insane amount of effort, the challenges that come along the way. And you know what? That video didn't just rack up 100,000 views, it built trust. It showed his audience the real process of pushing the boundaries in podcasting. And by sharing what happened before the success, he proved himself as one of the best names in the field. So, what's the key here? Well, in my opinion, it's about giving your audience a glimpse into something that's hard to fake. And that is the journey itself, the struggles, the reality of what goes into what you do. And yes, I'm talking about behind the scenes videos. These may not get the highest view counts, but they offer something more valuable. And that is the long-term trust and connection with your audience. So ask yourself, what behind the scenes moments can you share that will build the authenticity with your viewers? There's another kind of video that can really set you up apart and build an authority. But most people don't think of it right away. Imagine this. Your audience comes to you with a problem they desperately need to solve. Maybe they don't know how to play the piano, train their puppy, or do their taxes. Whatever it is, they're searching for help. These videos don't just offer answers, they start by showing the problem in a way that your viewers can relate to themselves. Something that they themselves struggle with. They want to feel understood, and that's where the power of these videos really kick in. So, picture this, a cute puppy running wild, completely ignoring commands. And it's a chaos, and your viewer is thinking, that's exactly what I'm dealing with. But what happens next is where the magic is. By the end of the video, that same puppy is sitting calmly, paying attention and following every command. I mean, come on, your viewers see that transformation unfold right in front of them. They don't need to know you personally or trust you. They'll trust what they can see. And when they see results like that, they start believing that you're the expert who can help them solve their own problem. So, what's the secret? It's a type of video that doesn't just tell, but it shows. It proves the solution works through real life examples right before their eyes. These videos are about solving problems. They show step by step how you can go from a complete chaos to success. And when you do a few videos like this, your audience will come back to you again and again because you've shown that you can deliver real results right in front of them. Let me ask you something. What do some of the most addictive TV shows of all time have in common? I mean, think about shows like The Survivor, where people are stranded on a remote island facing the elements and competing to win a prize. Or Top Chefs, where chefs really battle it out under intense pressure trying to prove their skills. And then there's the best, American Ninja Warrior, where contestants push their limits on crazy obstacle courses for a shot at a cash prize. What is it about those shows that makes us watch episode after episode completely hooked in? Well, it's something that they all share. And that is a formula that draws us in and keeps us invested. And it's not just about the competition. There's a deeper reason why we can't look away. And I bet you have seen this in action on YouTube too. Like for example, I recently couldn't take my eyes off the latest MrBeast video, Men vs. Women. I mean, it was intense and I found myself glued to the screen not knowing who would come out on top. And I had to watch until the very end. What is it that makes these types of videos so compelling to watch? Well, it's not just about the outcome. It's about the journey. What I think is watching people struggle, face obstacles, and fight to overcome challenges pulls us in like nothing else. We want to see them push through and fail and succeed and everything in between. And here's a little known fact. Studies have shown that viewers spend 23% more time watching videos that involve this type of content. What kind of videos exactly am I talking about? Well, you might have guessed it. Challenge videos. These types of videos are the most engaging content you can ever create. Now, the reality is whether you win or you lose doesn't really matter. It's about showing the process, the highs, the lows, the grit, and determination. Matter of fact, one of my clients recently did a 30-day e-commerce challenge where they launched a product in a short time frame and documented every step of the way. And the result? Well, their audience loves the journey and that video got over 50% more views than their regular content. So ask yourself, is there a challenge you can take on in your niche and it will help hook the viewers in and keep them watching until the very end? Let me tell you about another type of video that can absolutely take your content to the next level. It's the type of video that only the most dedicated course creators are willing to take on, but the payoff? Massive. And these types of videos don't just scratch the surface. They go in deep. They offer so much value that by the time your audience is done watching, they're fully convinced that you are the go-to expert in your field. And I'll be honest, it is a real commitment to create them, but that's exactly what makes them stand out. See, recently I came across a video by Charlie Morgan, and you wouldn't believe it, but this video was 22 hours long. And it wasn't just a random vlog, it was a full detailed breakdown of the mindset and steps needed to become a millionaire. You think a video like this would struggle to gain traction, right? But nope, it's actually one of his best performing videos, pulling in hundreds of thousands of views. Why? Because the value was undeniable. And then there's Ed from Creator Booth. He didn't go quite as far, but he still put out a nearly 6-hour tutorial on how to make YouTube videos, of which I watched every second of. Now, these types of creators don't hold back. They give their audience everything step by step in full detail, and that's why their videos perform so well. What is the secret behind these types of videos? The reality is by going deep. It's showing that you're willing to go the extra mile to solve your audience's problems. It's the kind of videos that really prove that you know your stuff without cutting corners or rushing to the finish line. In other words, I'm talking about really long form tutorials. These videos might take more time and effort to produce, but they offer unmatched value. They build trust, credibility, and a connection with your audience that shorter videos just can't do. Can you create a long form tutorial that dives deep into solving your audience's biggest problems? Something that they will find really valuable? And if so, it might just be one of the most powerful videos you'll ever make that will bring you a ton of sales. And this brings me on to the video that I mentioned earlier, the one that earned me 6 figures. See, in July 2020, I made a tutorial about setting up an Amazon FBA store in the UK. I'll be honest, this video wasn't fancy. The lighting was bad, the background was plain, and I didn't even have a script. But what I did was show easy and actionable steps that anyone can take. That video only got 66,000 views, but it brought in over £100,000 in sales for my business. Whenever I asked a new client as to what they liked about the video, they always said the same thing. It wasn't flashy, they just said it was super helpful. Next time you're tempted to really overproduce a video, just ask yourself, will the audience find this valuable? These 3 types of videos can build you loads of credibility and trust, but if you don't have the right system in place, all of those sales can just slip through the cracks. Can you just imagine doing all of this work and completely wasting your time? Make sure to watch this next video here to ensure that you're ready when those customers start knocking on your door.